Alright, alert scooter enthusiasts, gear up because today's episode is packed with juicy updates on some of the hottest electric scooters in the market. We've got price drops, price hikes, and a major reveal. The Segway ZT3 Pro finally has an official price tag. Let's start with the big news. The long-awaited ZT3 Pro from Segway has just hit the US market and its price has just been released at $949. Yes, you heard that right. This rugged off-road beast with a 1600 watt motor and 44 miles of range is priced under $1,000. Is that a steal? Well, we'll dive deeper into specs and features later on in the video. Next up, we got good news for budget-conscious riders. The GoTrax GX0, a fantastic dual-motor scooter, has just dropped its price to an even more affordable $899. This makes it one of the most compelling options in its class. If you're looking for a powerful and versatile scooter without breaking the bank, the GXO is definitely worth considering. And now for a bit of a bummer. The Apollo Phantom V4, which recently saw a price drop, is back to its original price of $2199. This might disappoint some folks who are hoping to snag it at a discount. But don't worry, we'll be keeping our eye on Apollo's pricing and we'll let you know right away if any more deals pop up. So what do these price changes mean for you? Well, it's definitely shaking up the scooter market. The Segway ZT3 Pro's aggressive pricing is sure to turn heads and put pressure on other high-performance models. The GoTrax GX0's drop-in price makes it an even more attractive option for the budget-minded riders. And the Apollo Phantom's V4's price increase might make some reconsider their options. Ultimately, the best scooter for you depends on your individual needs and priorities. Do your research, compare specs and features, and most importantly, take a test ride if possible. Alright guys, now that we took a look at the new price for the new price changes, I just wanted to kind of take a closer look now that we know the actual final price of the ZT3 Pro. We were expecting $700 to $800, which was a little lower. Still coming in at just over $900. I don't think is too bad. I was thinking maybe as high as anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500. So to see it come in under $1,000 is a decent deal. But let's take a closer look at some of the specs real quick and see how they compare to similar scooters in the same price range. So let's see, the top speed of the is like 25 miles per hour. The GX0, which the price has also dropped recently, does have a higher top speed at 28, and that is the only one with a top speed higher. The closest others are the VMAX VX2 Pro GT and the KQi 300 Extra New. As far as range, we had two different levels of range. Eco mode is 18.6, so we'll assume that it gets better range than the 300X KQi, almost as good as the GX0, but not quite as good as everyone else on the list in a similar price range. We don't know the 0 to 15. It hasn't been tested. I don't have those results posted. The weight comes in at 65.5 pounds, which is under the GX0, really close to the GX0, which is the heaviest of the group. All right, so as far as power, we are looking at nominal power of 600 watts, which comes in above everybody but the GX0, which has dual 500 watt motors. Let's see, so then we have the throttle. We see what kind of throttle this had. I believe this was a thumb throttle. So I believe this was a thumb throttle. I'm trying to see if I see it on here on the list. But in any case, we have 11-inch tubeless tires, which is actually better than anybody else on this list. Those are the largest tires on the list. 11-inch off-road tubeless tires sets the standard for everything here. IPX5, we have the GoTrack Zero is a 4, the Air is a 6, everybody else is, and the VX2 Pro GT is 6, everybody else is equal. Let's see, we have the battery is 48 volt. Front dual telescopic suspension with rear spring suspension. The Air has spring and then none in the rear, which is interesting. The GXO has hydraulic in front, and the Neon Ultra also has hydraulic and spring in the back, as well as the Max G2. So very similar to those. The brakes. Let's see. The dual disc brakes, so the front end brakes similar to the GXO and the KQI 300X in that. So 265 pounds of weight, rider weight it supports, which is here, and is it competes with the very top. The Pro GT VX2 from VMAX is at 287, but all right in that similar range. Besides the Air, which is a 220. So how do I think the ZT3 Pro competes with the rest of these? Speaking of the GX, I think the GX0 right now competes really well with it. They have very similar stats. It has a little higher top speed, a little better range if we're considering the lower end, and we are on the GX0 as well. So everything else being equal, this price drop, coincidentally, of the GX0 from $999 to $899 makes it a real competitive deal. It does have 10-inch tires, which is not as good. So if that 1 inch is a difference, and that's a big difference, I'm not downplaying it, then that would be a reason to go with the ZT3 Pro. The fact that the GX0 is dual motors is another check mark in my book. So the GX0 is really hard to pass up at $899, but the ZT3 is really exciting, really cool, and I think competes well compared to everything else in the group. I think it beats everything else. It's got the 11-inch tires. It competes okay with everything else in the same range. I don't feel like, and it's our only other. It's also a rear, so I think it would easily compete with the others. The GX0 being dual motor and just dropping the price makes it a tough to choose between. But other than that, I think it's hands down. Stay tuned to the channel for more in-depth reviews, comparisons, and more scooter news. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Stay in the loop.